On the news, over 20 injured as explosion rocks Kano Mosque. Suspect arrested. Federal Executive Council approves projects and policies after two-day deliberations. And ahead of Edo and Ondo elections, INEC seeks support of CSOs in mobilizing Nigerians for continuous voter registration. Thank you for joining us on News Now. I'm Simisola Adigun. The police in Kano State have arrested a man who allegedly detonated a bomb that killed a worshipper and injured 24 others in a mosque in Gazawa local government area. According to reports, the incident occurred early Wednesday morning when the worshippers were observing the Subh prayer at Gadan, a community in the LGA. The State Commissioner for Police, Hussaini Gumel, told reporters that a suspect, Shafiu Abubakar, told investigators that he targeted the worshippers over a family dispute on inheritance. The police chief says preliminary forensic analysis indicates the explosion was caused by a petrol bomb, but a detailed investigation is ongoing. Meanwhile, an Assistant Inspector General of Police, Umar Sanda, who visited the crime scene, has confirmed the death of one of the victims while receiving treatment at the Murtala Mohammed Specialist Hospital. After exhaustive deliberations that lasted for 2 days, the Federal Executive Council has announced a number of policy decisions it hopes will galvanize the Nigerian economy and address some of the testing problems confronting the country. The Cabinet approved a number of projects it says will facilitate investment and promote the ease of doing business in the country. TV360's Chidi Igwe has the story.
It was an unusual Federal Executive Council meeting lasting for 2 days, and at the end of it, a total of 21 key projects and policies were approved. From road construction to power, transportation to housing, a new visa regime to digital infrastructure, the Cabinet meeting covered all and much more.
At the end of the year, all manners of VIPs would approach us for what they call complimentary e-tags or complimentary stickers, whereby you see them coming into the airports, our airports nationwide. They don't pay the access fees, they don't pay for parking, they don't pay for essential services at the airports, and they are VIPs. And I told myself and my team, I said, not under my watch. It will not happen. If this tradition had been existing for years, I will not allow it to happen. Because it is inconceivable that in our country, it is the VIPs that don't pay for services, but it is the poor men that pay for services. We need the backing of council to compel everybody. In fact, guess what? Our memo says, with the exception of the president and the vice president. The president overruled me. He said he and the vice president will pay. He said everybody.
We also have approval to ban all dredging activities 10 kilometers from every federal bridge, federal government bridge, 10 kilometers upstream and 10 kilometers downstream. There shall be no harvesting of sand of any sort because it's exposing our piles.
3 approvals were secured to further strengthen our power infrastructures across the country. The first approval was actually for the contract for procurement of 10 numbers of 500 kV, 33 kV, 415 volts earthing transformers, and 10 numbers of 33 kV earthing reactors for the transmission company of Nigeria. Now, the impact of these earthing transformers and reactor is actually to enhance the optimum performance of the national grid, as we have witnessed incessant collapse and disturbance on the grid. This will go a long way in strengthening and expanding the grid. Third has to do with the approval for the award of contract for the supply and installation of 15 units of emergency restoration system for our 330 kV and 132 kV transmission lines.
FEC has also approved the award of contract for the building of bus terminals and other transport facilities in the federal capital, Abuja.
The first one for the bus terminal, it was awarded at the cost of 51,025,172,424 naira 96 kobo, and it was awarded in favor of Mr. Planet Project Limited.
The request of the Ministry of Communications to convert the property at 324 Jackson Street, San Francisco, USA, into a Nigerian Digital Technology Exchange Program hub was also approved by the Council.
This is where most of the investors in technology startups are based out of. Bear in mind that these investors, I think last year, invested $1.3 billion into technology startups in Nigeria. And our goal is that by setting up in the area, we can help to increase and improve the FDI to technology startups from the San Francisco Bay Area.
Speaking further, the Minister of Communications and National Orientation announced the suspension of the controversial 0.5% cybersecurity levy imposed on Nigerians through the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN.
The cybersecurity levy has been put on hold. It is being reviewed by government. For now, it is on hold. Revised visa policy that hopefully will be operationalized in the next 1 month. And like I said, this will reduce the visa processing time to about 48 hours. And it will also make it possible for other people to be captured under the visa on arrival policy.
The Council further approved the request by the Nigerian Customs to buy 200 CNG-powered Toyota Land Cruiser Buffalo V6 at a cost of 12.5 billion naira.
Parts assembly of mass transit CNG buses, and it's actually bi-fuel. It can run, these can run on petrol and they can run on CNG. The issue is that CNG is almost between 25 and maybe 30% cheaper, and that's a veritable saving for all those that, and so that will be reflected, of course, in transport costs.
And to address the current challenges in Nigeria's infrastructure and housing mortgage sector through public-private partnership, the Council has approved initiatives which it says can unlock a revenue of about 2 trillion naira. Chidi Igwe, TV360 News, Lagos.
The recent announcement by the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, that President Bola Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima, as well as other top government officials, will join other Nigerians and start paying access fees at federal airports nationwide has sparked various reactions. According to the minister, about 10 billion naira in revenue has been lost from non-collection of the toll fee. Earlier on, I spoke with the General Secretary, Aviation Roundtable Initiative, Olumide Onwayo. I began by asking him how justifiable the toll fee collection is at airports.
We cannot be taxing some people while the rich will walk through without paying the toll. There is to be fairness and also to raise revenue for the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, and this is supported. It's just shocking that it's just who we are and what I would call our anyhowness that such an issue should go to the Federal Executive Council. Even in neighboring countries, Benin Republic, everybody can get to the toll gate and pay the toll fare there without any issue. But if you try that here in Nigeria, the military men, paramilitary officers would get on you and virtually maul any civilian that is asking them for such funds. But I know he had to go to the Federal Executive Council because what he has done now is that he has now taken care of all the military military and paramilitary members of the armed forces now, and ensure that everybody complies with this new directive. So if the directives are coming from the CNC, then there's virtually nobody again that can disobey that order. And I think I support it. If that's another way of raising revenue, it's a good one. But I would rather want to see them improve on the having more technology and having the bar being used rather than have humans addressing this motorists or those passing through those toll gates. We should have the bar there so that once you put your money inside it opens for you, and if you don't put it doesn't open for you. Rather than have the front staff in that box, that would bring more. That might bring some scuffles and a bit of stubbornness from some people who will still want to refuse this order. But I'm happy with this decision. It cannot be implemented immediately. I expect them now to start a campaign and mobilization, putting placards putting banners at the toll gate, giving people time, a period of time when the new directive will start. It shouldn't be a new directive. It should have been a normal directive. For some people, it's new to them, but they would never, even when they're given the money, even when they have the money. And then they should also make.
Some say that this collection will. Some have said that this collection will affect businesses within the airport area. What are your thoughts on this?
I doubt if it will, because for those within the airport, there's a season ticket you can pay for, and you get your 1 year tag. So this is also available to non-airport people. So when you also have the 1 year tag, you can pass through the toll gate in multiple times a day without having an effect on you. The tax is it's for a year. So corporate organizations, those who are having these convoys can get such a tag, so they don't have to be paying at any time they pass to the toll gate. So if corporate organizations can get that tag, which is available at front, and I think that will ease that pressure. But for organizations within the airport, they know there's a staff tag for some areas. There's the ODC tag that gives you bypass to some places, and you also have the toll tag that is you place on the vehicle that want to pass through those gates. It's available. You just apply for it and you pay is per annum. What I would advise is that there should be an ease of getting it, rather than always everybody has to walk up to the fan office at the international airport to pick it. They should now make outlets available outside the airport, make it just like we get to the church, because people can actually get these tags rather than come all the way to the airport before they get it.
That was the General Secretary, Aviation Roundtable Initiative, Olumide Onwayo, speaking on the recent announcement by the Minister of Aviation mandating the collection of toll at Nigerian airports. Ahead of the governorship election in Edo and Ondo, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has urged civil society organizations (CSOs) to help mobilize eligible Nigerians for the continuous voter registration in the states. INEC Chairman Mahmood Yakubu made the appeal at the Commission's quarterly meeting with the CSOs on Tuesday in Abuja, preparatory to the elections. Yakubu also reminded the CSOs of the need to submit their applications for observation of the Edo election without delay, with the required supporting documents and a realistic number of individual observers. In his remarks, the President, International Institute for Leadership and Governance, pledged that the CSOs would work with INEC to conduct hitch-free elections in both states.
Appeals to civil society organizations to join us in mobilizing prospective registrants for the exercise, particularly on the need to register early and not wait until the deadline approaches, when the registration centers will be inundated by 11th hour registrants. In addition to the registration of voters, the Commission will also make available the uncollected permanent voters' cards for collection during the voter registration. In the coming days, the list of uncollected PVCs will be published in our offices in the 2 states and simultaneously uploaded to our website.
We also appreciate the fact that even though the Commission is independent, they seem to partially depend on us for collaboration and cooperation. We promise that we will fulfill all the demands you have made of us, and that this relationship should be strengthened and continue growing. On behalf of all the CSOs here, I want to thank the Commission for welcoming us.
The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has embarked on an operational tour of military formations to the Premier Command of the Nigerian Navy in Lagos to address security challenges. General Musa arrived at the headquarters operation of the Western Naval Command on Tuesday, where he was received by the Flag Officer Commanding Rear Admiral Mustafa Bala Hassan. After a closed-door meeting with military heads, the CDS told the press his visit was to examine the challenges of the Nigerian Army in the southwest and enhance their capability in getting solutions.
What they are doing, they have been achieving so much in addressing the issue of pipeline vandalization, all acts of criminality within the southwest. We received a detailed brief from the commander, and we have looked into the challenges they are facing. We're going to address them, see how we can enhance their capacity and capabilities. We know they are doing very well. We want them to do better. And so that's why I'm here, to see them, to encourage them, and to look into their issues so that we can assist them. Basically, just to appeal to Nigerians, especially those ones that are committing acts of criminality. The vandalization does nobody no good. You pollute the environment and the acts of criminality that's there, and then you are affecting the production of crude oil for Nigeria, and it's going to affect everybody. We know the country is going through trying periods now. I'm sure we're going to get out of it. The president and the team are doing everything possible to ensure that Nigeria is back economically and physically. So we want those criminals to stop, because we're coming after them, and wherever they are, we will get them. We have looked at other issues of the legal aspects when we make arrests, how the arrests are. We're going to follow that in detail so that we make sure that we stop these acts of criminality, because they found out sometimes when arrests are made, where within a short period you see the same vessel coming back into the system. We don't want that to happen. Once it is arrested, let it go, and then those ones apprehended must pay for their crime, and I think that will serve as deterrence to others. So we just appeal to Nigerians. We appreciate all Nigerians for the support we're getting so far, and then we appeal that they should do more.
We'll take a break, but coming up, Securities Exchange Commission, EFCC, targets virtual manipulators, a new collaboration to address forex crisis in the country. Stay with us for details. Welcome back. Here's a recap of our top stories. The police in Kano State have arrested a man who allegedly detonated a bomb that killed a worshipper and injured 24 others in a mosque in Gezawa local government area. According to reports, the incident occurred early on Wednesday morning when the worshippers were observing the sub-prayer at Gadan, a community in the LGA. The police chief says preliminary forensic analysis indicates that the explosion was caused by a petrol bomb, but a detailed investigation is ongoing. We also told you that after exhaustive deliberations that lasted for 2 days, the Federal Executive Council has announced a number of policy decisions it hopes will galvanize the Nigerian economy and address some of the testing problems confronting the country. The cabinet approved a number of projects it says will facilitate investment and promote the ease of doing business in the country. In case you missed any of our news bulletins, for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV and AVO TV, or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery, and Apple Store. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. Well, for more stories in business, let's join Okpayemi Owosheni, who's on standby. What's the latest, Okpayemi?
Well, Simisala, in a bid to provide universal access to the internet in Nigeria, the federal government has approved the establishment of a special purpose vehicle to facilitate the installation of additional 90,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable. Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani, who addressed State House reporters on Tuesday in Abuja, says the project will enhance the national internet backbone and maximize the utilization of 8 submarine cables that have already been laid in the country. Tijani says the project will expand Nigeria's fiber optic cable capacity from 35,000 kilometers to 125,000 kilometers, positioning it as the 3rd longest terrestrial fiber optic backbone in Africa after South Africa and Egypt.
The approval for the setup of a special purpose vehicle, which is a public-private partnership to deploy 90,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable across Nigeria. For those who follow the development within the telecommunications space, Nigeria currently has about 8 submarine cables, which we're only using to about 10%, and this affects the quality of internet that we get across the country. So this approval means that we will now, in the next 2 to 3 years, be able to deploy 90,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable, taking the total in the country to 125,000. This will make it the 3rd longest terrestrial fiber optic cable in Africa after Egypt and South Africa. And the significant implication of this for of course, our economy is also the fact that the price of internet is projected to reduce by about 60%. The price is projected to reduce by about 60%. And also bear in mind that for every country with a good coverage of connectivity, Nigeria, for instance, is being projected to see a 1.5% growth in GDP, not just in the sector, but across board, due to this investment.
Still on business, the Securities and Exchange Commission has vowed to collaborate with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to mitigate forex trading manipulations within the virtual space. Acting Director General of the SEC, Emomotimi Agama, said this when he received a team from the EFCC led by its Executive Chairman, Ola Olukoyede, in Abuja. Agama underlined that the SEC, as the top capital market regulator, is ready to work with the EFCC in support of the national need to stop the spread of unlawful activities. We'll go on a short break and be back with stock market reports. The stock market recorded another red close on Wednesday, reducing by 0.13%, with the market's capitalization at 55.07 trillion naira. The market breadth also ended on a negative note as 13 stocks advanced and 31 stocks declined. Now, for the 3rd time this week, PZ Cussons made top laggards list after his share price dropped from 22 naira 50 kobo to 20 naira 25 kobo per share. Followed closely by 15 Cocoa, which closed at 1 naira 44 kobo per share. At the end of today's trading session on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, a total of 290 million volumes of shares were exchanged in 7,328 deals, corresponding to a market value of over 6 billion naira. Now, compared to the previous NGX trading day, that's Tuesday, May 14th, today's data shows about 5% decline in volume, 15% improvement in turnover, but 8% decline in deals. Well, let's take a switch to our foreign stocks. Well, as you can see from the screen behind me, reverse is the case as they all maintained a northward progression and ended in the bulls, with the UK FTSE at 0.21%, the US Dow Jones at 0.61%, and Japan's Nikkei at 0.077%. Let's take a quick look at our foreign exchange market. The US dollar traded at 1,502 naira 64 kobo on the official market and at 1,550 naira on the black market, while the Great British Pound traded at 1,890 naira 47 kobo on the official market and at 1,920 naira on the black market. The euros traded at 1,625 naira 55 kobo on the official market and at 1,650 naira on the black market. Well, that's it on both business and stock market report. Back to you, Simisala, for the rest of the news.
Thank you, Okoyemi. And in other stories, Gabon's deposed President Ali Bongo and 2 of his sons have gone on hunger strike to protest against their alleged subjection to acts of torture and barbarity. The ruling junta also imprisoned his wife Sylvia Bongo and their oldest son Nuruddin while they awaited trial for alleged corruption. In a statement, the family's lawyers alleged that Nuruddin and Sylvia were beaten and strangled while in detention. They also alleged that Nuruddin was tortured, whipped, and even electrocuted with a taser. However, Gabonese authorities are yet to comment on the allegations. The Deputy Defense Minister of Sri Lanka, Pramita Tenakun, says at least 16 of the nation's citizens fighting as mercenaries have been killed in Russia's war against Ukraine. Sri Lankan authorities opened an inquiry last week into the recruitment of its citizens in the war and have since identified 288 retired soldiers who participated in the conflict. But ruling party lawmaker Gamini Waleboda told Parliament on Monday that those who joined had been duped with promises of high salaries and falsely told they will be given non-combat roles, echoing similar claims made by authorities in nearby India and Nepal after a number of their citizens were killed in the conflict. And up next is Entertainment Report on News Now.
Famous Nigerian artist Abib Okikiola, popularly called Portable, has remained in police custody for failing to meet the bail conditions for his release. Portable was arrested for allegedly refusing to pay the 40 million naira debt incurred when he bought a G-Wagon from a car dealer in Lagos State. According to the Lagos State Police Command spokesperson Benjamin Odeyin, the singer will remain in detention pending when he is able to produce a reliable surety before he can be granted bail.
And on sports, head coach of South Africa's men's football team, Hugo Broos, has named the 36-man preliminary squad for his side's 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying fixture against Nigeria and Zimbabwe. The South Africans will be guests of the Super Eagles in Uyo on Friday, June 7. The 1996 AFCON champions will then return to host Zimbabwe at the Free State Stadium in Bloemfontein on Tuesday, June 11. The final 23-member squad will be announced in the next few days. Well, that's all on News Now. Many thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.